Good morning, everybody. Here we are, your auto defense crew. We're here to defend you against the evil car dealers of the world. And we've been doing it for a long time. We got some regular listeners out there and watchers because we're streaming also. And we were just talking before the show about how much we enjoy the show, and we've seen our ratings grow, and in terms of number of viewers and watchers. And it's really getting impressive. I mean, we're all over the country and even the world. We could go as far as India and Australia and some other places you wouldn't expect. But we're feeling a little, what's the word? Rick said, it's kind of humbling to think that people are listening to us and depending on us. And some of you folks out there are regular listeners. I mean, it's like every week. And it makes us feel an obligation to give you what you tuned in for or what you're watching for, and we're going to try real hard. We love to have your calls, first of all, and I should really turn it around and give you the credit for what we do because your calls make the show interesting. You know, when you tune in a show, whether it's on television or radio or Facebook or whatever you're watching, streaming, and somebody just yaks and yaks and yaks like I am right now, that's not too interesting. But when you hear people ask the question that you had on your mind, and that's what happens with the show, people will ask a question that you've been thinking about, mulling over for some time, and there it is, and there's the answer. So if you could write this number down, because you won't have a question probably right now. If you do, we'll answer it. But that number is 877 960 9960. 877 960 9960. And sitting right next to me, Nancy Stewart, my co-host, she has a laptop right here. I can kind of see the screen. And when the calls come through, Jeremy in the control room shoots it through to the laptop, and then she taps me on the shoulder, and whoever's talking, we stop and take her call. So we love your calls because you open up areas that we didn't know were important, and we try to address it. That number again is 877 960 9960.
And the good news is that the phones are working.
Ah.
So give us a call.
They are working. And sometimes they don't work. We know that. And if you don't like to call, then we have a text number too. That text number is 772 497 6530. 772 497 6530. YouTube is the big gun. I snuck up on me. I mean, it shouldn't have because YouTube is really huge. And that's where we get most of our regulars and our new stuff. And we got Rick Kearney, who is our certified diagnostic master technician. He monitors the YouTube channel, and that is youtube.com/Earl on Cars. If you want to go to YouTube, just go to youtube.com/Earl on Cars. And you'll be talking to all of us, but Rick will see it first. And if you have a comment, criticism, suggestion, he'll wave. We'll give him the mic, and he'll tell all of us what you had to say, and we'll discuss it. youtube.com/Earl on Cars. Facebook.com, we're there too. And Stu Stewart is monitoring that channel, Facebook.
Trying to.
Facebook.com/Earl on Cars. He also watches the text, and I gave that number out earlier, 772 497 6530. It's a very interesting time. I say this every week, and I just learned something else today, automotive news, that I didn't realize. I've been on this show talking about how cars last longer, and they do, and compared to the quality of cars 30 years ago, they're much better quality. But, quality is a general term. And the fact of the matter is, in terms of complaints, cars are getting worse. And the reason is they're getting more complicated. And with the high tech being incorporated into all these new vehicles now, whether they're hybrids or electric vehicles or combustion engine, the high technology like Bluetooth is creating a lot of complaints. There's an annual survey by J.D. Power, and the quality in terms of complaints per 100 cars of a particular year, make, model is worse than it's ever been. And there's some real surprises in there when you look at who's best and who's worst. The worst decline in quality was Ford. Ford plummeted in quality, and you say, well, that means that Fords are clunkers. They're not. They're good cars, but they're getting pretty complicated. And part of it is educating the customer. You know, customers complain not only because the Bluetooth doesn't work, but because they don't understand how to use the Bluetooth. A complaint is a complaint is a complaint, and J.D. Power picks that up. So beware, if you haven't bought a new car, modern car in a while, the cars are better. They're, in terms of cost of repair, maintenance, and these things, they're pretty good. But in terms of annoyance, I'll give you an example. Nancy and I have a Tesla, and my windshield washer, I mean, that's not exactly a major problem, but it's broken twice. I haven't brought it back. I have to bring it back to the Tesla dealer, or Tesla actually, and I just haven't got around to it. And it's annoying to me because when I get up in the morning, I got a dirty windshield and I can't clean it. I had to clean the windshield this morning.
Every time that happens, I want you to think about Elon Musk just sitting back in his chair, smoking a cigar, laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
Lighting the cigar with a wad full of hundreds.
Exactly. So
He probably has somebody hired to clean his windshield. Like every time he stops at a red light, they hop out of the trunk and clean it.
I don't think so. Elon's not type.
He's not materialistic.
He's a do-it-yourself type of guy.
Yeah, he doesn't. He sleeps like in a shack on a cot, I think.
Yeah, well, to that, Stu, Earl's very spoiled.
With a blanket made of diamonds.
You wash the windshield?
I wash the Tesla,
Oh, okay.
the interior and the
See,
exterior.
Earl's got one. He's someone who comes out and washes the windshield.
He's
for
very, very spoiled. This
Okay.
morning was difficult because it was a lot of condensation and it was difficult to see the road because I just decided I gave up that job.
well, he deserves it.
My wife has one of those.
Huh?
My wife has one of those.
Oh, did you?
People to take care of the car.
This is a
That's
talk
it.
show, but not for us.
Sure it is.
This is a talk show for callers. And I'm wondering, did you get that number? 877-960-9960. Please give us a call when you have a chance. 877-960-9960, because the question you have on your mind is a question that hundreds of other people have and just haven't got the time, or they don't think about it, or they forget, and they love it when you ask their question for them. So 877-960-9960. I'm going to turn the mic over to Nancy Stewart because she is the only female in the room right now. She has single-handedly, I give her full credit for bringing the listening, watching audience of Earl on Cars up from practically zero to practically 50%.
To parody.
Yeah, parity. And we have almost as many callers, usually, by the female end of things than we do the male. And their calls are quite interesting.
It's
Ladies
so
have
hot.
different-
Everyone's languish. It's so hot outside. We're just languishing.
Exactly. So tell them about the special offer, Nancy. With
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday to you. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. You're very important to us. And we have a special guest that'll be coming in this morning. And his name is Rampant. And he's a mixed breed. And I believe he was picked up in Miami. He was a stray. So he's going to dazzle us with his presence. So if you want to stay tuned for that. And excuse me, for the ladies, we have $50 for the first two new lady callers, and you can collect that $50 just by calling and saying hello, or maybe talking about a recent purchase that you made, or how long you're waiting for that, purchase that you made. Some are still waiting up to a year. It's been a difficult time still, and things are getting better. Another topic, if you so wish to discuss, is artificial intelligence. It doesn't seem like as if it was that long ago that we talked about electric vehicles, and here we are knee-deep in them, and now we are in the artificial intelligence explosion. If you'd like to discuss that, please give us a call at 960 or you can text us at 772-497-6530, or you can talk to us on youranonymousfeedback.com.
Oh, boy.
And for all of you who are not familiar with Earl's Confessions of a Recovering Car Dealer, this ties in with Big Dog Ranch. And what you can do is you can go to Amazon or to Earl on Cars and earloncars.com, and you can purchase this book. Why is it so important? Because of all the great information in it, and it's like something you put on a shelf and you can always refer to. But not only that, all proceeds for this book goes straight to Big Dog Ranch. So that book is, it's something to have and to hold. So the Confessions of a Recovering Car Dealer, go to Amazon or on Cars to purchase that book. Now we've got some calls, and I think I'm going to go to Lake Park and talk to Bob. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody today?
Good.
Thank you.
Good. I wanted to talk about a couple topics. One is car insurance, and the other is the test drive. I just read that Florida has the highest car insurance in the country, and the trend would be eventually the average car insurance in the state of Florida will be $4,000 a year over time. And I was wondering if you could talk about that. I was able to find a relatively good quote from AAA, of all people. You had talked about AAA a couple weeks ago, and they sell car insurance, and they're very reasonable. And then I also wanted to talk about the test drive. You were talking about test drives, and I was wondering, when I usually will go for a test drive, I'd like to take the car out on the highway to see what the acceleration is so I can get on the highway, and then also how quiet the car is when it's traveling at highway speeds. I was wondering what you thought about that.
Well, Bob, your observation on insurance in Florida is accurate. I'm not sure that it applies to auto insurance. I know it applies to property, home insurance, and that has to do with hurricanes and also with the fact that we have so much coastal property, and with this global warming phenomena we're having with rising water, sort of a thing. But it's really a crisis in terms of home insurance, building insurance.
Yes.
I don't know that it applies to. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my body shop manager the other day about that, and he didn't seem to think that there were complaints from our customers about their premium. I can see why.
I had read. What I had read was car insurance in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Car insurance is the highest in the country.
I didn't know that. I'll certainly go back and double check. I can't speak to I can't speak as to why that would be true in Florida and not true in other areas. But I do know in general car insurance is higher now because of the cost of the materials being used for the cars. And the high-tech cars we have, normally a bumper was a bumper, right? You ran into something that protected the car. Now, high-tech electronics are embedded in the bumper, sensors, and a bumper is many, many times more expensive today than it was 10 years ago.
Right.
So these are the type of things.
I think they also said something about the high number of uninsured drivers that are in Florida.
Bingo. I do recall that. Yeah, we do. It's an age thing, and I think in Florida we have an more elderly population. A lot of people come to Florida to retire, and older people just like to keep using their cars. And oftentimes their license comes up for renewal, and they say, I don't think I'm going to be able to pass the test, or maybe they try and they fail, but they don't stop driving. And when you stop and think about it, the odds against somebody being pulled over are pretty slim. And so they feel, what the heck, if they catch me, I'll have a fine. if I don't drive, I'm going to be very unhappy. I know I would ask you how you feel about your car, Bob. If someone came and took your car from you and said you can't drive anymore, you'd be kind of depressed, wouldn't you?
Yes, I had to do that with my father because of his.
Yeah.
He couldn't remember how to get home anymore.
Yeah.
I had to take his keys.
Yeah, and
And,
that was tough on him, I'm sure.
Yes, it was a tough situation. What do you think about the test drive? When somebody takes a test drive, you were talking about that, I think, a week ago or so.
Yeah.
And your dealership is not anywhere near the highway. You're all the way down on US 1.
Mm-hmm.
If someone came in, they wanted to test drive the car up on I-95, you would let them take it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. We encourage that, and it's important that you drive. The interesting thing, as I'm saying this, it's also impossible to do now because there aren't any cars to test drive, and that's an exaggeration. But because of the inventory shortage, it's very difficult for you to be able to drive that car that you would normally be able to drive in normal inventory situations. But assuming, just for this discussion, that you have that car, you certainly should drive it in the same conditions that you drive it every day on I-95, in back roads, rough roads, smooth roads, the way you park the car, where you park the car. It's amazing the things that you notice about a car when you're in it for 20 minutes or half an hour that you wouldn't notice if you just took it around the block. So if a car dealer tries to take you around the block and say, you just had a test drive, say no. In fact, we encourage at our dealership to take the car for a whole day or even overnight and drive it in all those conditions that you would normally drive. Today,
that's very unusual. I don't think very many of the dealers would do that, do they?
No, they don't. And to be honest, today it's very difficult. If you don't have any vehicles in stock, or very few, the odds against the specific vehicle you want. In our situation, our dealership, most every car we sell, almost literally every car we sell, is an ordered car. So the cars that we have on the ground are usually cars that were sold and they came in and they haven't been delivered yet, and we can't, in good conscience, take test drives. We encourage people, these has come up in the past, we say, try rental companies, or just, try to find, if you have to go to a dealer you don't even want to buy from, if they have the car in stock for a test drive. But it's very difficult to do today.
Right. Now, could you actually go rent the car somewhere and try it out that way?
I would.
Go to a rental.
I
rental
would.
agency?
If I could find the model I wanted to drive, I would rent it.
Yeah.
It'd be worth $50 or whatever it cost me to drive the car for a full day and know I like it or know I don't like it. That's,
Usually you can pick out a rental by class. You want a midsize SUV or a thing, and then you call them, say what kind of midsize SUVs you got out there, and pick the one you want to buy. But I've actually been kind of excited. We were talking about Subarus a couple of weeks ago, and I rented a Subaru and fell in love with a Subaru. And well, we sell Toyotas, but that sucks.
Right. Well, I was wondering, your friend there that ordered the Camry, and then it came in and he had an issue. I guess he never test drove the car before he ordered it.
Yeah, and he couldn't. If we had the vehicle, he would have done it. And that's another thing that we don't think about today. That's one of the difficulties. Every car is different. Even if they don't have a model change or any change, two cars coming off the assembly line, exact same year, make, model, they're a little bit different the way they drive. I mean, it's just cars are not rubber stamped. They're assembled separately, and there's a little difference between one car and another. That's the reason you have lemons. I mean, you can have a great car with great quality, but one out of something, 1,000 or 10,000, you're going to have a problem, and they call that a lemon.
Right. Well, it's very interesting.
Bob,
well, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Bob.
Hope
Thank
you have
you.
a nice weekend.
Thank you, Bob, and thanks for bringing that topic to the show about car insurance. And you're right, Florida ranked as the second highest average full car coverage, and New York is the highest, and $4,769 a year. Wow. Okay, 877-960-9960, or you can text us at 772-497-6530. We are going to stay with the phones, and we're going to talk to Rhonda, who is a first-time caller. Welcome, Rhonda.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Good morning. You won yourself $50 this morning, Rhonda, and if you'll stay on the line when we finish talking and talk to Jeremy in our control room, he'll get your contact information and hand it to me, and I will give you that check by putting it in the mail and getting it out to you ASAP. What can we do for you this morning?
Well, thank you very much for the check. My question is, I drive a 2005 Honda Accord EX. I have put over 200,000 miles on it now, or it has over 200,000. And I put over 100,000 myself. And I also want to say I can vouch for the insurance. I have paid probably 50% more insurance than my other family members living in other states. So it's pretty much it's a serious increase. The other thing is, in the next 2 years, I'll be in the car market for a new car within 5 years. 5 years old. I want a Lexus for the reliability, but what are some other choices? Maybe.
In that in the luxury class, like Lexus, well, I'd go if you have access to Consumer Reports. They would probably give you everything that's recommended in that class. But I can tell you, I don't know what model you're looking at, but you're looking in the right direction because I think we usually see a lot of Lexuses on the recommended list on Consumer Reports. Rick has something.
The other brand I would look at is Acura. Acura is Honda's luxury brand, and Honda and Toyota are neck and neck in quality, and Lexus and Acura neck and neck in quality, and in the shall we say the bells and whistles, the toys in the cars. But Acura also has a few more, shall we say, sportier options for a shall we say, a younger mindset. Lexus is more of the older generations, the ones that are looking more for the soft creature comforts, and Acura can be more of the sportier, a little more responsive performance type cars.
And Rhonda, if you can pick yourself up a Consumer Report, I can't tell you how much information that is in I'm going to say the May, June, and also the July edition, and they rate their cars, and they're out there driving them, and it's very thorough. So the information that you are going to absorb from those subscriptions, the magazines, and you can even go to the library if you don't wish to purchase one, but it is a great way to go if you're going to purchase a vehicle. And I think Stu has something to add to that.
Rhonda, were you looking to get a same-size car as the Accord, like a mid-size car?
I'm in the market for either an ES 350 or an LS 460.
Okay. Oh, the big one. Okay, so in full ultra luxury cars, I'm sorry. Well, in that mid-size range, Consumer Reports, the best one as far as reliability that's going to last forever is the 2023 Lexus ES Hybrid. And by the way, Lexus and Toyota are going that way anyway, so pretty much all their cars are going to become hybrid and then eventually electric. So that's your ES right there. So that's like the top recommended from Consumer Reports. But you could also consider there's Genesis. That's Hyundai makes that luxury brand, and that's getting really good ratings on Consumer Reports. And BMW, as much as I hate to say it, the top three are the Lexus ES, the Genesis G80, and the BMW 5 Series. Can you believe that? BMW recommended for reliability? Okay, but it is.
Wow.
And also, Rhonda, you can also take a look at the cars that you really should avoid. They just do a very thorough investigation with the cars to avoid, the cars that cost you more to keep on the road than to purchase.
Yeah, they buy it for themselves, and they go through all the stuff that so you don't
it's
have to.
Yeah, it's very strenuous what they do out there. It's amazing. You can take and you can look that up too, Rhonda. So it's really informing the consumer before you decide to purchase. You know, I hope that we were able to help you out this morning.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you
Very
for
helpful.
thank you for calling. Give us a call again. Our number here is 877-960-9960, or you can text us at 772-497-6530. And don't forget youranonymousfeedback.com. Now back to the recovering car dealer.
How about text? We got any text coming in?
Yeah, we got. I have a segment from Anne Marie. It's a big one, but it's pretty cool. Anne Marie says, "Good morning. It's no secret that vehicles are rolling computers that collect data on who we are, where we go, and how we drive. I have 3 modest proposals. If cars in the future have facial recognition and collect data on their owners and drivers, here are some programs that I'd like to see created and implemented based on the data accumulated by the vehicle. 1. This proposal is on behalf of parents everywhere who have said, 'You're not going out dressed like that.'" Try saying that these days. "Let there be a program where parents can input a computer code so that the car won't start or go anywhere if one's precious offspring is, quote unquote, dressed like that." That won't work in my house, I promise you that. But well, we'll pass it up on the ladder to Toyota. Number 2, businesses today can put governors on trucks to keep their drivers from exceeding certain speeds. Let's create a similar program for parents of young drivers. If you suspect your young driver may not be as responsible as you'd like, set up a computer command that limits the vehicle's speed and emails you a report on where the kid went and how fast the vehicle traveled. I can testify that while we didn't have a governor on the car, there are programs out there called, oh gosh, I can't remember, we don't use it anymore, but Find Friends on your iPhone. Well, that doesn't give you speed. But there's other programs out there that it's on your phone and alerts you.
Software all over the place.
Yeah.
That technology is available right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it will slow the car down, but it can alert you if the car, and also you can track the car. And that's good for parents with teenagers. But be honest with your kids, let them know you're tracking them. If the car has facial recognition and knowledge of who's supposed to be driving, and this is a really good one, I'd like to suggest a security program in case a driver is ever carjacked, or if the car is just going to be stolen. Let the carjackers take the car, get away from danger, but contact the police and trigger a program where the car records who's in the car through facial recognition, sends the police an email as the car's current location and occupants, and takes the culprits to the nearest police station for processing. I have a friend in another city where carjackings are rampant. Kids steal the cars at gunpoint and drive them around and crash them into other cars and often total the vehicle. My friend's okay, but her car was crashed and totaled. I'd like to see future vehicles have programs to minimize or prevent the dangers of carjackers. Well, I thought where you're going, because I didn't read it all the way, was that it would have facial recognition and just wouldn't operate for anybody who wasn't authorized to operate it.
By the way, one quick note for anyone that has a car with a smart key system. In other words, the push button start.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure that you don't leave the key just loose
In
in
the
the
car.
car when you get in it. Have it in your pocket, your purse, or whatever. If something like that happens, grab your purse, get out of the car, let them have it. They drive off in the car, but when they turn it off, it will not restart.
Yep.
So at least then the car is disabled, and hopefully you've got a better chance of getting it recovered.
Yeah, and new cars now, you can track them even if you don't have special software. Most of them are connected to GPS, and you can look at your car with an app.
But remember, your safety is paramount. Cars can be replaced. Your health, not so much.
And Emery asked, what programs would you like to see created for drivers in the future? And along those lines, Emery, I'd like to see that facial recognition, what you're talking about. But for things like security, if your car only starts for you, your wife, your children, and a couple other designated people, somebody breaks in the car, it doesn't matter what they do, it won't start. It's too
I'm
complex a
surprised
system. The
Tesla
hardware.
doesn't have facial recognition now.
Yeah, and also she mentioned the taking a picture. A lot of dash cams have interior cameras. If that's something, I think that if somebody wants to put that in their car, if you put a dash cam in your car with an interior camera, if somebody steals
That's
your car,
the reason I
it will
said
report
Tesla,
it
because Tesla is watching my eyes, or Nancy's eyes, whoever's driving.
to make sure
And
you're not
if your
messing around.
eyes are not on the road, the car stops. I
Yeah.
mean, or basically you lose your autonomous privileges.
Yeah. So that sounds like just an update that Tesla could do. I mean, it's not like a big, they don't have to get your car and they just update it, the software.
One feature that some cars had for a while, but I haven't heard of it again in a while, is if you don't put your seatbelt on, the radio will not work. And that I thought was one of the
That's pretty good. For
greatest
kids,
things for the young drivers, teenagers,
I didn't know that.
who wouldn't
Which cars
necessarily
are that?
wear a seatbelt.
Which cars is that?
I believe Honda and Ford actually were the front runners on that for a while.
No.
But I haven't heard of that in a while. I don't know if they still have that or not. But
maybe that was
a
challenged
fantastic
in court
idea, really.
or something. Anne-Marie has a PS. She said there's a lot of animal shelters overflowing with cute critters right now. So if you're thinking of getting a pet and you don't live down here close to Big Dog Ranch Rescue or the other place, please check out your own local rescue agency for a forever friend. Thanks. Thank you, Anne-Marie.
Very good.
Great to hear from you again, Anne Marie. We're going to go back to the phones where we have a few calls holding, and we're going to talk to Don. He's calling us from West Palm Beach. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Question for Rick. A 2008 Toyota Sequoia Platinum. There is Hall Hardware in West Palm Beach, and they were selling Duracell fobs and keys, and I've had them make them before. And yesterday, their little computer hooked up to the car, blah, blah, blah. It would say that it was, satisfied for the key and the fob, but then when you stuck it in the car and so forth, it would not work. They're thinking that there is a limit on how many keys and fobs you can program for the Sequoia.
Yes, there is. I believe on the Sequoia, it might be either 4 or 6. Toyota generally has a limit on the number of smart key fobs and even immobilizer keys that can be programmed to their cars at any given moment.
Why is that?
I don't know why, but they just decided let's not allow an infinite number. And
Maybe,
it usually
maybe they just have like a
is,
really crappy
depending
chip.
on the model, either 4 or 6.
Maybe they need a bigger memory card in that thing.
Well, that's great information. I think that's kind of stupid, but it's a fact. So
I love that Rick
Don-
knew it immediately. I was like, whoa.
I program a lot of keys.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
I've given the car to the son, and we have I have the 2 original fobs, and 2 more have been done. And then for the keys, maybe close to 6 keys. So
Yeah.
then the question now is, there's only 1 fob that works. Is there any way of even going to the Toyota dealership?
Yes, there is.
I'd love to ask Toyota that question, because there's somebody.
Rick knows.
That's such a dumb thing to do. You're a perfect example of why it's dumb. 2008. I mean, this is 2023. So the chances that you're going to have more than 1 key fob lost or required, the older your car,
Yeah,
and
eventually.
they're forsaking the people that keep their cars for a long time.
No, because all you have to do is go to the dealer, bring all the keys that you have that you want to operate that vehicle. They can erase all the old ones and set it to where only those will now operate the vehicle.
Oh, will that solve your problem, Don?
Well, then how about the fobs? that don't work anymore?
Same thing. As long as the fobs are still operational, that they're transmitting, and
Oh, they're not. They're not. They're not. That's why I'm saying I only have one fob that actually works anymore.
That'll work.
okay. Well,
Bring that
then
in.
you'd need to get new key fobs, and when you go to if you have the dealer do it, let them know that when they're programming a new fob, you want them to erase any old fobs.
Okay.
Okay, but Dawn, I hope we answered your questions. We've got some calls backed up. Can we help
Okay.
you with anything else?
No. I'm planning on calling Travis. I think he's one of your service riders to do with the phone, like
Yep.
I called last week, and also to deal with the fobs as well.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
You got the right guy.
We have.
Okay.
Give us a call again. We're going to go straight to Frank, who's been holding in Jupiter Farms, and Marty will be right with you. Hang in there. Good morning, Frank.
Well, good morning, guys.
Good morning,
Happy
Frank.
another weekend.
Yes,
Anyway.
it is.
Last 2 weekends, I really didn't get a chance to say much. We grow lychees down here. We have about 100 lychee trees. And so this is like Farmer Frank and Jupiter Farms the last
Farmer
2
Frank.
weekends. So, I mean, retired airline captain, retired military pilot, but now
Sounds like a
farmer.
lot of lychees.
Actually, it's kind of neat. I mean, people love them. And the
Yeah.
tree we got now, I'm not trying to do an infomercial, but the seeds are so small. It's really a gift from Heavenly Father. It's nothing that anyone knew about. The seeds are smaller, about 1/10 the size of a raisin, if they have a seed at all. And everyone thinks I'm making up stories. And I said, here, try one. And the look on their face when they don't find a seed inside of a lychee,
Yeah.
nut. So anyway.
Keep going. You
But
might
I'm
get a completely
on
seedless
Wheel
one.
Trail if they want to come
Earl
back.
stored on lychee nuts.
We covered it all.
I better get back to two things.
Yes,
I
please.
did notice today that there's no more AM radios in the electric cars,
That's true.
and there's it's interesting because I guess the AM stations during storms and tornadoes and hurricanes have more like range coverage than FM radio and stuff. But anyway, that was an interesting thing.
Yeah, they rely on to use the streaming services, but I did hear, and this is true, that Ford backtracked and said they were going to not stop putting AM radios in the car. So I guess there was enough
Yeah.
of a backlash.
Yeah, you can stream AM radio
Yeah.
in most electric cars if they have streaming capability. In our Tesla that we have, Nancy and I, in fact, we stream, true oldies AM.
But all smartphones can stream, and all new cars can. You can Bluetooth to your car, so everybody's got AM radio. Everybody's got it.
As I said, I have a 2012 Mercedes E350, and the glove box won't open. I mean, the latch starts to, move, but nothing's working, and you can't force it open. And I know, of course, my registration's in there, the insurance, the stickers and things. I went to Mercedes, and they were like $600.
Really?
Yeah. Is there any secret to this? Is what I tried to do.
Lock picking kick on Amazon.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not very familiar with Mercedes, how their latch system is set up. But let's see, where is that place I saw recently?
Could a locksmith do it?
No, not necessarily. Unless it's, does it have a key lock to it?
There's
A lot of
like-
cars
like-
don't.
No, it has that little magic key that's in the key fob. That's just a square-looking thing, but that's not moving. It's the guy that did look at it to give me the $600 price says it's not. It's the lock itself something. It's not
The
it's
latch.
just like-
Yeah.
Yeah, the latch. But he said try and go on the side and pull back the armature. And I said, what do I have that's going to fit in there? And Rick, you'll love this. I brought out an old set of feeler gauges from Gapping spark plugs, decades ago.
Nice.
And that kind of fit in there. It fits. The only small thing I had, like a little jimmy tool.
Yep.
But I couldn't find any latch. It is so tight. All the dimensions are so tight on
That's
that car.
Mercedes for you.
Yeah, Mercedes, their fit and finish is good.
It's
really, really good.
They have some fine fit and finish.
I want to say there's a guy down on US 1. I think he's just a little bit north of Forest Hill Boulevard. That up almost to where Summit would hit US 1 that does a lot of Mercedes work.
So just heading your car down that way.
Yeah. My real option, the first thing I would do really for that is I would go online for local Mercedes forums, and I would look and see if you have any Mercedes, just even Mercedes forums, and put your question in there. I guarantee there are some gurus in there that will instantly be able to give you answers if there is a way on how to do it the easiest way, because there's some Mercedes guys out there in this nation that love those things, and I guarantee there's been 1,000 people already in the past year that have had the same issue.
And also, right when you get off the phone with us, go on YouTube and search how do you open a stuck Mercedes glove box.
And
That
I'm
one
also
also.
looking at glove box locks from Mercedes, and you can buy them on Amazon. So it's
But you got to open it first.
it's available to you.
Yeah, that's what they said. Once you get the door open, there's like 4 little screws. They won't sell you the screws or the kit at Mercedes unless you have your registration and can prove that you're really you. And I said, well, unfortunately, it's locked in the glove box. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting dilemma. But anyways, always great to hear your show.
Always is.
And here's a
yeah.
quick note from my buddy Donovan. He says, German Auto World in Delray Beach. He says they're a good company that he has dealt with, and he recommends give
There
them
you
a try.
Yeah,
German
European,
Auto
there,
World.
There are a lot of technicians out there that specialize in European cars, and that's your answer, really, what we were talking about before. What's that name again? The
German Auto World.
German Auto Works. Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll write that down. Thanks. Because about a month or two ago, the car wash people broke off the little Mercedes thing on the hood.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's amazing.
The one in Jupiter doesn't even have a repair shop up here. You got to
Interesting.
go down to Okeechobee, and it was like $400 to have that thing replaced.
Wow.
Oh,
Frank, we got
gosh.
a bunch of people
Frank,
holding here, so
we're
we're going to
gonna-
have to move along.
I know. I'll let you guys go. Have a nice day, sir.
Thanks for the
Bye-bye.
call, Frank. We enjoy your company. We're going to go to Marty and Betty. Just hold on, and we'll be right with you. Good morning, Marty. Welcome.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
We're great.
I got 2 points, and I'll make them quick. First point is Earl is 100% correct. My neighbor bought a new Acura TLX, and he can't work the radio. He can't get the stations programmed down there, so he's got to go back to the dealer and figure out what you have to do to get the stations programmed.
Annoying.
Very annoying.
Yes.
Now, the other thing, my other point is when you said facial recognition to drive the car, what are you going to do in your dealership when you come in for service when you got 20 cars in there that all have
It goes.
facial
You put it.
recognition?
It goes into service mode, and then lets anybody start it. But you need your face to put it into service mode or valet
Yeah,
mode.
Anyone can
Yeah.
start it?
Well, if you want to put it into valet mode, you would just say go into valet mode, and it would use your face, and you'd walk out, and everybody could start it.
Yeah, you tell it
Interesting.
valet mode for the next 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
after
so
3
in other
hours, boom,
words-
he cancels it.
Hey, that might
So
speed
in
up the
other words,
service in the
all
shop.
these-
Yeah,
if
great
we have time limits on
information,
how long
Stu.
we can drive the car.
So anybody could drive off with the cars when they're sitting in your parking lot.
How about this? Toyota dealerships will have a special access for their technicians.
All right.
Your
As long
identical
as,
twin can steal your car, of course.
If
Right.
you grow a beard,
As
you
long
can't
as
start
they
your
have-
car.
We got the ID.
as long as Stu is correct and all the cars don't get stolen, you better have your insurance paid up
That's
over
true.
there.
And if it does, everybody can blame me.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a
I
lot
don't
of
think-
cabbage, Marty. A lot of
Yeah,
cabbage.
I don't think that's going to happen for that one reason.
Yeah, but if I told you that you wouldn't be able to open your phone without your phone looking at your face 10 years ago, you would have said I was crazy.
Yeah, well, I've got an iPhone and I don't put that stuff in there, so I open it with nothing.
Okay.
So I don't have a problem with that. But you're right. Advances are very
They're
technical.
coming along, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They sure are moving fast.
All right, I'm waiting for the 24, so I'm going to sit tight.
All right.
You know, I got a text message last night, and I thought about you again because I have a friend who's waiting, and she's been waiting for about a year now. So, if that's any consolation to you.
Yeah, tell her she's only got 3 more months to wait.
Oh, no,
Imagine.
I'd have to leave town if I gave her that information.
I only waited 15 months, but that's all right. Now I got to wait. Jason told me I can't do anything till August anyways as far as ordering.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
you can come by and visit though.
Okay, Marty. Hey,
All
listen.
right, have a good weekend.
Yeah, we love talking to you.
Thanks,
Give us
Marty.
a call again. We're going to go to Parkland, and where we find Betty, who's a first-time caller. Good morning, Betty.
Good morning.
Welcome. You won yourself $50, Betty, and if you stay on the line when we're finished talking, and you talk to Jeremy in the control room, he'll get all your information and pass it along to me, and I'll send you out a check for $50.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed getting up early to hear your program.
Thank you.
I had to buy a new tire for my car. It's a 2017 Hyundai or Sonata, and I just went to the local place. And after they put everything on it, I drove it, and there was a message that said that the air pressures are uneven. So I brought it back. They said, "Oh, that's not important. It's okay." Is that right?
No, that
Doesn't-
is important.
Yeah, very
They-
important.
They should set all 4 of the tire pressures to be about the same, within like 1 to 2 pounds per square inch of each other.
Yeah.
Well, one was 36 and 35, and one was 37 and 30, 34 or 35.
Yeah, that air pressure, your PSI is so important. It affects how your car behaves on the road, your gas model, it just everything. So
Won't be exact.
that
it's
information
just
was
within 1 or 2
inaccurate.
pounds.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I made him
okay.
put
It's
extra
okay.
air pressure in it so it would work.
Yeah,
But
no,
he-
it's
He
okay.
didn't want to do it.
Yeah, it's I get the air pressure indicator in my car, and it bothers me when I see them not being perfect. But within a couple of pounds,
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, he was accurate. Now, if it was one was 37 and then you had one with 30 or several pounds difference, then I'm sure they would have taken care of it.
Maybe I'm oversensitive. I like it all even, and I
Well,
like
I have obsessive thinking. Everything has to be perfectly even.
Yeah.
But not for safety's sake. That's just for my own.
gets me in trouble a lot.
idiosyncrasies.
But checking your tire pressure at least once a month is a real good idea.
Yeah.
Rick?
It might also be that for your Hyundai, it may need to be driven for a little while until the computer catches the numbers up properly, say about 20 or 30 miles. But
Well,
yeah,
it was
if it's
driven 20 or 30 miles.
if it's still giving you that warning, I'd step in at the Hyundai dealer and have it checked out.
Well, I brought it back to the other guy, and he fixed it.
Oh, okay,
Oh, great.
that's good then.
Well,
Could you
thank you for your program.
Thank
Yeah,
you. for
thank
calling.
you.
Don't forget to stay on the line and give Jeremy that information. Great hearing from you, and thank you for helping us build this platform here for the ladies. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 877-960-9960, or you can text us at 772-497-6530. We're going to go back to Stu.
Okay. I got a text from Roy in Denver. Roy wants to know, has Toyota announced when the 2024 models will be available? I think it's just the Grand Highlander, that bigger, big fancy Highlander is the only one so far. So, and I wouldn't tell you if I knew anyway, because that's confidential Toyota information.
Look
Just
out.
kidding. No, usually we start to see that. We get like a launch calendar. Mid-year, we'll probably see it. So I think next month we might get an
of course,
idea.
what Stu said, of course, is that we don't know. The press finds out about these
Usually,
things
yeah.
before we do. When I say we, car dealers, the manufacturers will talk to the press or somebody else.
Leak it.
And we're sitting here getting calls from our customers saying, "Oh, we just read that
It's online,
this new
yeah.
car's coming out." So,
It's online somewhere.
Yeah.
You could probably find it with Google faster than me. But as far as like official stuff, the Grand Highlander is it. Next one. Good morning. What is your opinion of CarMax? We live in Southeast Ohio, and we're looking for a safe, reliable used vehicle for our recent college grad. Well, we love CarMax. Historically, right now, things are really weird in the used car market. And to be honest, we haven't mystery shopped CarMax in a while.
Automotive news this week, CarMax's first quarter net income slipped 9.5%. Business is bad. That might be good for you, but CarMax is a great place to buy a used car.
Yeah, just generally, it's tough. Inventories are still, they're built up, and there's crazy fluctuations with the used car market. And even though CarMax is it's a straightforward place and it's a good place to do business, they're still beholden to fluctuations in the market. So we've seen it nosediving where used car prices are dropping, and then they've come back up. But they treat their customers ethically, honestly. They have a minimal number of extra fees. They are junk fees, but I think it's a couple $100 versus thousands. And they do take care of the cars, and they stand behind them. So you can't go wrong, I don't think, up there in Ohio. We have some incognito, some anonymous feedback. First one. Interesting to read about the $2 million given to the Florida governor's campaign 2 weeks before he vetoed a bill allowing car manufacturers to sell direct to residents in Florida. Each time I Google the subject, another story appears about other corrupt politicians in Florida accepting quote-unquote donations from car dealers. Maybe instead of sending your secret shopper to dealers, you could have them shop the corrupt lawmakers. Well, actually, I'm running for Florida State Senate secretly under a pseudonym. Just kidding. Like we talked about this last week on the show. That law has always been there, but what you're saying is absolutely true. The reason those laws have been there is because the car dealers have a huge lobbying power in Florida and other states, and with a lot of money.
And it's not Florida. It's our political system.
Yeah.
It's national.
It's just the way it works.
Politics. I always temper this by saying we've got the best government, the best country in the world. And our system, our democratic system, and the whole thing is the best in the world, but it still stinks, and we got to live with it. But when a politician is talking, he is talking to his base to try to get reelected, and he's telling you what you want to hear, so you'll vote for him. That's the way our system is, but it still works pretty damn well.
And when he's talking to his donors, he'll say, because they're going to hold him to it. And everybody in, we'll talk about Florida, everybody in the state Senate, everybody in the House and the governor's mansion are kind of clienteles of the Florida car industry, retail industry. Another anonymous feedback. Toyota hybrids are impossible to get quickly. The current wait list is anywhere from 6 to 12 months for most Toyota dealers. The RAV4 is a 9-month wait. A new Toyota Sienna is also about a 9 to 12 month wait. This is crazy. It is crazy, but there is kind of good news on the horizon. To get just a little bit wonky, our allocation system has had an adjustment somewhat recently. Toyota and other manufacturers, other manufacturers are going straight to electric. Toyota is taking this interim step, and right now they stop distinguishing between gas versions and hybrid versions for allocation purposes. So in the past, if you sold a gas Camry, you would only earn a gas Camry on a future allocation to get to another customer. They've released that. So now if you're selling gas, and it's in other words, it's going to help the dealers that are selling a lot of hybrids.
Toyota is panicking because they got out late out of the gate, and they're in serious trouble. And the good news is they got so much money and they're so big, they can endure serious trouble more than most auto manufacturers. So they'll come through it, and they'll be back on top one day. But right now, they're playing catch up.
A startup would have been bankrupt. Toyota can stay in the game. Let's see. I'm in Dallas, Texas. Where'd it go? Okay, this is more anonymous feeds. I'm in the Dallas, Texas area. In 2006, I bought a new Prius from Earl Toyota. I did the whole transaction online or over the phone, and my new Prius was shipped to me by truck. I kept that Prius for 12 years. It was the best car I ever owned. Thank you, Earl Stewart.
Well,
You're welcome.
I just said something bad about Toyota. I'll say something good. The Prius is probably the best car that's ever been built. It's the best car that Toyota has ever built. And Rick will back me up on that because he fixes them.
And I drove 4 of them.
Yeah.
I don't make a lot of money on them. That's all I can tell you.
Rick hates them. Rick hates Priuses.
I don't make much money on them because
there
they
you go.
don't break.
Yeah, there
Well,
you go.
Mr. Sir, you bought your car back in 2006, and that was the Prius heyday, and that was going crazy. And we were selling cars. I think at that time we were the #1 seller of Priuses in the country.
We were in the top 5. I don't know if we ever hit 1. We might have.
Because there was a few dealers in California.
Yeah.
That's right. We always had a caveat. #1 seller of Priuses in the country, asterisk, except California. All right, I'm all caught up.
Oh, great. We're going to go back to the phones where we're going to talk to Lance. He's calling us from Tennessee. Good morning, Lance. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Earl, we've got some bad news on Earl Stewart Day. 2024.
Oh, jeez.
Are we going to have to postpone to 25? I knew that was coming.
We're trying to kill enough squirrels for the squirrel season. We just can't get them. We can't find them.
You know, when I was a kid, they used to call me Earl. Earl the Squirrel. That was what I used to.
we knew that. That's the reason we added that, our squirrel story. Also, I've got a little special song for you this morning.
Oh.
When the morning papers hit the street, Earl Stewart on cars can't be beat.
Oh.
Where you want to buy, sell or trade, come on around and listen in the shade.
Oh, wow, I love that. Hey, will you give me permission to use that in my advertising? We'll get the audio clip off the radio show.
Are you kidding? We would love it.
Let's take a standing ovation.
We'll say courtesy of Lance from Tennessee.
I want that for my ringtone.
It's always good to talk to you. I love your show, and
Thank you.
It's just a great source of knowledge. And I don't always agree, but that's what America's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, that's when Nancy and I have an argument, we settle by saying difference of opinion is what allows horse racing. Just think it, without difference of opinion, there wouldn't be any racing or betting. So we agree to disagree.
Oh, please don't lose any sleep. We'll get this thing together for 2024, and it's great to see what you do for Big Dog Ranch. I'm a dog lover myself, and I always ask you when I call, have you heard anything about Wheelie?
About what?
Wheelie.
Wheelie.
Yeah, Wheelie. Yeah, we need to check on that.
Well, last week we were told that Wheelie was still at the ranch.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because we need to work on that. Wheelie had the problem with his rear legs, and this is very difficult. So I'm glad you mentioned that because we'll make a renewed effort. We might even bring Wheelie back because we got to find him a home.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And that's a good point. We ask for the difficult to adopt dogs when we do the dog of the week because you're a cute little puppy with a waggy tail. Everybody wants to adopt the little puppies, but some of the older dogs, the dogs with not medical but physical problems, they have the difficulty. So we're going to make thanks to your comment, we're going to make renew our effort to get a home for Wheelie.
And we'll get that information this morning when Big Dog Ranch comes in, Lance. And if you didn't hear me when we came on the air, Rampant will be here. And he's a mixed breed. He's 3 years old, and he was a stray from Miami. So you can...
One last thing, Earl and Nancy, if Wheelie needs surgery to correct that condition, maybe we could raise the money on here to get that done for that good dog.
Raise some money? Yeah. I think
if Wheelie needs surgery to get his condition repaired, maybe we could raise the money to take care of that.
Well, that's a good.
Sounds a good idea.
That's a good idea. I like you, Lance. I really appreciate your calls, and we'll be looking forward next week.
Yeah, thanks
See
for
you.
the call, and stay tuned for Rambit, who will be coming up, just before the mystery shopping report. Give us a call again. To the lady caller who is no longer there on my queue here. I don't see her. She may have hung up. Give us a call back.
Yeah, please
the
do.
lines are all free, and we could take your call. That number is 877-960-9960, and you can text us at 772-497-6530. Don't forget your anonymous feedback.com. We're going to go to Rick, who probably has a lot to share with us.
Well, we've got a few interesting comments here. First one, I want to scroll back a little bit if I can get my list to move. There we go. Okay. This actually came in a little earlier this morning. Lane A. Katz says, "Good morning. Hats off to you folks to put out an amazing radio show program that showcases honesty. I listen to you and also thank you for recommending Kevin Hunter, the homework guy." So thank you, Lane. That's a fantastic thing to hear from you.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll get down here. I got a comment from Donovan.
Oh, great.
More great advice here. He says this week, Rivian, Rivian is the company making the
Big
kind
deal.
of luxury electric trucks.
Yeah.
They announced they're going to be following both Ford, GM, and Hyundai is also talking that they're going to do this. They're all going to be switching to the Tesla NACS type charging connector.
Everybody's going to jump on that bandwagon.
That
This
was
is
in the
gonna be
business
the
finance
standard, the industry standard.
of Wall Street Journal. And Donovan, thanks so much for, we may not have been able to get to that, but that's big news with Rivian and Tesla and those superchargers.
So yeah, that's apparently, he says, I cannot stress it enough. If you're looking for an EV, do not buy from a brand that has not already agreed to switch to the NACS.
And that's
you
why
may
they'll
be
switch,
stuck with
yeah.
some very poor charging experiences.
Yeah, definitely.
Donovan, if you're still listening out there, because you're one of our most intelligent and interesting listeners, I want to ask you this: where do you feel artificial intelligence will fall in for consumers when it comes to choosing products? And I obviously thinking about automobiles or on cars, but with this incredible surge in AI technology, and it's still scratching the surface. We talk about when will everything be electric vehicle, when will everything be autonomous. I'm wondering about when AI will come of age, where it will basically know all, see all, and be able to explain all. But I'm having a little debate with our marketing company right now about that, and they're hung up on Google and Dealer Rater and Yelp and the other rating services. Rating services right now are the big gun. The consumer goes to Consumer Reports. They go to Google. They check out things, and the educated consumer uses those tools. My question is, and I'm talking to everybody, but I'm talking mainly, to Donovan because he's a smart guy. Where do you think artificial intelligence, and if the apps now are worthwhile tapping for information on buying an automobile or anything else? If you're hearing me now, or anybody else hearing me, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah. Earlier when we opened the show, I was talking about this explosion, and it seemed like it was not that long ago we were talking about electric vehicles. Now they're everywhere, and Tesla's superchargers, and boy, I'll tell you what, we are here. It is now, and now we're talking about artificial intelligence. Give us a call, ladies and gentlemen, and tell us how you feel about this explosion. 877-960-9960, or you can text us at 772-497-6530. And Rick, we're going to go back to the phones, and we're going to talk to Kurt, who is calling us from Pompano Beach. Good morning, Kurt.
Good morning. I'm a long-term listener.
Oh, thank you.
Finally calling. Yes, and I just love your program, and I wish you all were on every morning instead of
There's other programs on Monday through Friday on this radio station I can't listen to. So y'all just wonderful every Saturday morning. I have my alarm go off at 8 a.m. to listen to y'all. But my question is, I think you are great. But two questions. Number one is I had my Toyota Camrys up in a few months, and I'm at the showroom, and they got the new Crown, which they're opinion on the Crown, and that they told me replace the
An Avalon.
And the 15, and there's a hybrid. And then also, number two is my insurance. I've had no accidents, and my friends and relatives, and the car insurance down here is, my insurance has gone from like $1,200 to $1,500 to $1,700 for 6 months, like $3,500. So I was telling Earl, I said, Earl doesn't know what's going on with the insurance market here. Everybody's insurance is skyrocketing.
Yeah, I was wrong about that. I recall now the earlier caller, he said something that made sense. Is we have a lot of older drivers in Florida, and I think that's one of the issues, and uninsured drivers. So the insurance companies are afraid of that situation with one of their insured being involved in an accident with an uninsured driver. Then it means it all falls on them. So they have to
throw
raise
a lot of luxury cars into the mix in South Florida with high repair costs.
And Kurt, it's amazing. We had a call earlier about the increase in car insurance, and I was checking it out, and my goodness gracious, Florida comes in second as far as the highest. And New York is $4,769 a year, and then Louisiana comes in third, but the rate hikes have soared. Rick?
I think our hurricanes and our weather has a factor in it too. Because
Well, they said it did. The elements and the car is in, depending upon your location and what it's subjected to.
And one of the factors that we have seen in service department is when we all of a sudden get a flood situation where an area gets a lot of high water, insurance companies almost always go with the rule of thumb that if the water reached the bottom edge of the dashboard or touched the dash, got up into the dash area, pretty much figure the car is totaled because there's simply going to be too much, and it's that car's done. Yeah. And when you can have suddenly in a weekend 300 or 400 cars all totaled in one shot, that in an
that
area
has
that
an
can
impact, definitely.
hit it. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. And the what's interesting, in North Carolina, my relative has a new Mercedes BMW convertible, and that car and two other cars a year in the middle of North Carolina cost him like $1,200. Here we have down here in Florida neighbors who have a used 15-year-old used. I think it was a Toyota Corolla, and hers has gone from like $1,100 to $1,200 to $1,500 every 6 months. And my insurance on from State Farm has gone like $1,200 to $1,500 to $1,700 every 6 months, like $3,500 a year with no accidents. So I called Geico and Progressive, and they said that the repair costs. Also, there's a lot of lawsuits. You see every ad on TV, Morgan & Morgan for, we collect billions of dollars from the car companies for injuries, and it just goes on and on.
Yeah,
So
that's
really,
the other thing I forgot. You're absolutely right. We have more litigation in Florida. I think we have a higher per capita number of lawyers in Florida than the other state. So there's a good reason right there to have high insurance costs.
When you watch the TV and every truck that goes, every bus has ads for the attorneys. That's the big business for billions of dollars, and it's like
it's covered
that
up.
And the property insurance for your house. Florida, when I moved there in 1989, it certainly is a different state than what it was then.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Kurt.
Kurt, it was great talking to you. Thanks for all the information. Give us a call again.
I love your show, and look forward to hearing from you every Saturday morning. And
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Kurt, that was quite a seed you planted, asking if you could listen to our show every single morning. I don't know how we could do that, but yo.
AI. We can just have a generative AI pose as us during weekdays.
Stu has all the great ideas.
Yeah.
Hey, give us a call at 877-960-9960 or text us at 772-497-6530. We're going to go back to Rick, where he has some great stuff to share with us.
I've got a reply from Donovan.
Oh, Donovan.
He says, by 2030, you'll have cars doing real self-driving using real AI with quantum computers. The second half of this decade will look very different from the first half. Real AI will not happen until you get quantum computing working at a scale and reliability, and you need super fast connections to everything because the data sets with AI are truly massive.
And that's when we're destroyed by the at the moment of the singularity.
Skynet comes
because when you have quantum computing, it's going to have consciousness. So
I read IBM said that with quantum computing, that they had a problem that would have taken digital computers 10,000 years to solve, and with quantum computing, they solved it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he says 6G connections will be marketed for that. So imagine cell phone towers that can connect to your car with GPS, and suddenly your car is able to take you literally within millimeters for location accuracy.
Well, Donovan, it was a two-part question. I totally agree with what you just said. In terms of the consumer, what if a consumer were to go to Chat GPT or Bard or one of the other AI apps and say, I want to buy a Honda Accord, and I'd like to know the best car dealer and the most honest car dealer to buy that Honda Accord from. Do you think the day will come when an AI app will be able to give you that information? And I say that because right now we have Google and we have a lot of other rating things. We have Yelp and we have DealerTrack, but Dealer Rater. But a lot of these, Google makes a huge amount of their money on advertising. All the information, all the revenue from the AI apps is based on subscription costs. Reason I don't trust Car and Driver magazine, or I don't trust Motor Trend, is because they exist because of automotive advertising. And naturally, the Car of the Year award always is a heavy advertiser in Motor Trend. And so I would like to have a source of information like Consumer Reports that is totally, they divorce themselves from the products that they rate.
I think where Donovan was going with the quantum, I think it would have to get to that point, because right now the AI are these language models, so it's getting all the information from the internet anyway. If you asked it, it's probably getting it from
quantum
reviews.
is only going to allow them to get, and it's not just getting information anyway. It has to do with the processing. It has to do with the algorithms, very sophisticated algorithms. So quantum computing will be a huge breakthrough. But right now, artificial intelligence is having a huge impact on all the companies, all industries. So I'd be interested in Donovan's opinion on that.
He may have, with just 6 words, kind of clued it right into what direction he's thinking. He says, you'll own nothing and be happy, which may just clue towards the idea of you don't own the cars anymore.
Yeah.
The cars are simply there. You use an app, a vehicle picks you up autonomously and takes you where you need to go, and you pay for the ride.
I'm talking about a broader question of product. There will still be people competing for that. So just like you got Uber, you have Lyft, you have bread, you have TV sets, you have products. How do you get an honest assessment of the best retail store, the best product through AI? And Stu thinks you have to wait till quantum computing comes of age. I don't agree with that. So let's see what the listeners out there like Donovan have to say.
Well, here he comes in. He says, the AI we have now is not really artificial intelligence. Right. It's just searching a massive library of text and images using tons of graphic GPUs.
Donovan, I respectfully disagree, because they don't just parrot the information from that's available out there. They also apply very sophisticated analog that are able, not analog, they're algorithms is what I'm trying to say. Very sophisticated algorithms that interpret the information that is available. So that's what makes artificial intelligence what it is today. And the only thing that quantum computing will do will speed it up and able to gobble up more information and create more algorithms. So
Great topic.
Good. It's good discussion.
Donovan, thanks for opening up this conversation. Gosh, you're a great asset to the show. We really enjoy your company. Well, we're going to, Rick, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the phones, and we're going to talk to Mark in Palm Beach Gardens, who's been holding. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Nancy and crew. How is everybody doing?
We're well,
To
thank
the
you.
best radio show, the most informed and opinion show in South Florida on weekend radio. You guys do a great job.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you so much.
I've got one question and then a comment. Rick, 2015 Camry, being in a wheelchair now, I can't get under there and look, but turn signal bulb in the bumper. Do you have access right to the bottom to change that bulb, or does it require taking the bumper off?
2015, the turn signals in that are up near the headlight. You're not thinking of the driving light down low, are you?
No, maybe I was, all I'm just saying is the left front turn signal bulb has to be replaced. It blinks real fast, indicating that one of the elements are burned out.
Right. Yeah.
So when you open up the hood, can you get behind the headlight easily to replace that, or is it a major thing? I'm trying to figure out if one of my grandkids can do it.
If they've got skinny arms, then yes. I've got some pretty big meat hooks, but I will shove my arms into some tiny places, and I've got the scars to prove it. But yeah, I can get in and replace those bulbs pretty quick. So yeah, a younger kid.
You don't have to take the bumper off, in other words.
No.
Okay. Cool. I know you guys are busy, and I want to try to get through with this call as quick as possible.
Yeah.
I have my own opinion and 2 cents worth on Nancy, this electric car explosion that we're having. And, I am one that kind of don't like change. And, the combustion engine's been around forever, but electric cars are a good thing. All the talk about Tesla and other models, I get kind of tired of, but my big thought is that, we're going to have to transition over to electric. But they build the cars, numbers are increasing, they're being bought. But, there is that constant question of availability to recharge. And the other thing is, a lot of our politicians, they either don't understand or don't want to admit it. It takes electricity to charge the cars. And so we get back to that anti-green element that we've got to have the infrastructure to provide the electricity to charge the cars. And I think that we're going to run into a big issue with not having the infrastructure. Take California. They're pushing I believe they're the largest market with electric cars on the road. But their infrastructure is so screwed up that the more and more electric cars that we're going to put on the road.
Yeah. I think
and
there was
finding charging stations, I think it's going to be a major problem. And people don't want to admit it now, but watch out in the future. I don't think
there was a lot of
fast
Mark,
Hey,
Mark, I think there was close to many hundreds of billions of dollars allocated in the infrastructure bill to facilitate a lot of the things that you mentioned, and I know it takes a long time right now to get nuclear power plants online with the process, but I think some of that was streamlined to get those back up, because I think we're going to see a lot more nuclear power plants, modern ones, popping up around the country. There's going to have to be a lot of electricity produced to charge all those cars, but things kind of work hand in hand. When the internal combustion, there wasn't enough petroleum production to fuel a future of cars. So it kind of works out.
Yeah, and Mark, from what I'm reading, you can look in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the USA Today, and everyone is targeted towards, improving things as far as the chargers are concerned, and there being enough of them. And this, Elon Musk, what he's doing, and the superchargers that he's making available to Rivian, to so many. It's moving fast, and we're going to be there.
Yeah, and I know opinions are like what. Everyone has one.
Belly buttons.
And I have my own, but I sure hope that they're still making combustion engine cars when I leave this earth. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw my 2 cents worth in there.
We enjoy your company, Mark. We really do.
So I haven't been listening as much as I used to, but I'm getting back in the swing. But anyway,
nice.
I'll let you get on to your next
we missed you.
caller or comment. But I'm looking forward to mystery shopping report.
Yeah,
really
mystery shopping report and Rambit. Rambit will be here too, so stay tuned for that.
Excellent.
We'll talk again, Mark. Thank you. Okay, we are going to go back to Rick. I think he's got some information for us.
Well, we had a little bit more from Donovan. He says, let's see. He says, I don't know if that's something AI would solve, meaning the ability to recommend dealerships or recommend one product over another. And I got to bring this one out. You guys are going to love it. Johnny Z. Fradley comes in and says, I think Donovan is AI. And of course, Donovan laughed at that one. And then it was just, we had a little discussion about the idea of reaching into tight places in cars. Steve Maggs even mentioned here, he says, I changed the headlight bulbs on a 2011 Outback and have the scars on both arms to prove it. Normally requires the bumper off, but I went through the inner fender. $15 bulbs cost $425 to change at the dealer. Crazy. And yeah, unfortunately, sometimes those simple little bitty things can be quite expensive to repair for the labor that's got to be done in order to install it and get those parts in place. And a lot of times the engineers that design these cars don't really think about that one bulb.
Not at all.
That's going to burn out, and they just, what the hey, it's not going to burn out.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, they're doing what their bosses tell them to do, and that is to make the car saleable. They want to sell the car, and then they're not thinking about 5-10 years down the pike when they're trying to fix the car, which they really should. And I think that's a valid criticism. I think I see a dog out there.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, Rampant
Are we
is
getting near
in the
doggy
house.
time?
I believe we may be.
And it is time for us to introduce Rampant. And
Okay, for you folks that haven't listened before, we've taken on a new tact on Earl on Cars. It's kind of like Earl on Dogs. And we have I'm looking at a dog out in the lobby there that will be making his grand entrance here very shortly. And we represent Big Dog Ranch Rescue, probably the largest no-kill shelter anywhere for doggies. And here he is. We have the dog on the premises. Nancy, what is that dog's name again?
the dog's name is Rampant, and I want to let everyone...
Rampant? Spell that.
Rampant, R-A-M-B-I-T. He's a mixed breed, and he was a stray from... Good morning, Meg. Good morning. He was a stray from Miami. He's only 3 years old. And I want to point out to everyone before we get started, remember you can go to either Amazon or earlsbook.com, and you can purchase this Confessions of a Recovering Car Dealer, and all proceeds go to Big Dog Ranch. Okay, we're
He's a
going to turn
liquor.
it over
Right.
to
Yeah.
Stu.
He's a liquor.
So this is
Take it
our
away, Stu.
welcome to the Earl sponsored dog of the week. If you're watching or streaming online right now, you're seeing what looks like a small tiger kissing our volunteer Peggy from Big Dog Ranch Rescue. And this week, as Nancy said, our sponsored dog is Rambit. And Peggy's going to tell you all about Rambit, and we'll get to see some pictures and play with them. And I can tell you one thing, I got so many kisses out there in the lobby. He just jumped up on me and hugged me, and my face was bathed. So go ahead, Peggy, tell us the vital stats. Yeah, go ahead.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Rambit. He was found astray roaming the streets with a muzzle around his nose and mouth.
Oh, Lord.
That is why he's got that. He's got that scar.
From the muzzle?
Yes, yeah, it's from a muzzle. I just left him like that.
That's terrible.
But he, as you can see, he's a little sweetheart. Loves to give kisses. He gives them out all day long.
Endless kisses.
Yeah, yeah. He is 3 years old, and he's very, very good on the leash. Loves to go for walks and just sit and cuddle with you all day if he could. Yeah.
Yeah, and
really is.
he prefers an adult. He wants all the attention.
Oh, he wants all the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, he craves the attention.
So Rick is getting in there with that camera, but there is something so cool about this dog. He has stripes.
He does.
And I'm not kidding. I mean, maybe that's technically a brindle, but this dog has tiger stripes. I'm not kidding.
He does have tiger stripes. He is a hound plot mix.
Hound pup mix. What kind? I mean,
A plot is a type of hound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the plot has the big ears.
Oh, a plot hound. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's so affectionate.
He
this
is.
is crazy how affectionate
How
he is.
affectionate he is, especially after the way he was treated.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking. I didn't know. I noticed there's the scarring around his muzzle, and we found that's because he was muzzled and in an abusive situation, a neglect situation at some point.
A lot of the
in his
dogs
life.
at Big Dog Ranch are found like this. A dog, instead of trying to find a home for dogs, unfortunately, some people just let them go. Or they'll even actually take them out into the woody areas and let them go, or just leave them along the side of the road. It's unbelievable the way some of these poor animals have been treated, and that's the reason we have so many dogs like Rambit.
But
at Big
what's
Dog
really
Ranch.
amazing is after that, and they are as lovable and as affectionate as they are,
Yeah.
and they don't get bitter or hateful. Some dogs do, but but this
Well,
like
some of the
Ram-
shelters make it too easy to adopt. Big Dog Ranch, it's easy to adopt, but they're careful, and they choose good homes. They will not take a dog and
Right.
have him go to a home if they'll put him back on the street
Well,
again.
they
in a
check you
month.
out. There's references. You can't just go in there and take a dog and be irresponsible for it. They want to make sure that the dogs that go home, the adoptees, that it's a forever home. So that's why we call it the forever home. So I think Rick has got this on camera. What I'm looking at here is a dog when he is on his hind legs is about as tall as Nancy Stewart. So Nancy, that tiger dog right there looked really good on you when you jumped up. He's in such great shape. Yeah. I really apologize to her, just the listeners. If you're driving in your car, you're like, "What the hell's going on here?" So we have a beautiful hound mix, plot hound mix, a striped dog, 3 years old, named Rambit,
It looks like he's dancing with Peggy right
he's
now.
dancing with our volunteer, but he's trying to do. He's Bernadette. I'm sorry. And trying to, Jonathan texted me, Peggy, it's Jonathan's fault. But he's dancing with Bernadette and he's trying to give kisses right there. And that tail is wagging back and forth.
And Rampant wants to be, he wants to have full attention if you do choose to adopt him. And he doesn't prefer children or cats or other dogs. So, considering that he was a stray, it's no surprise. He just needs all the attention and all the love. And I don't blame him.
That's right.
Stu?
No, absolutely. And so as our sponsored dog of the week, we cover the adoption fees. So if you adopt Rambit through us, just go to bdrr.org, and that's Big Dog Ranch Rescue's website. You can see all the dogs up there, but you can inquire. All the contact information is there. Or you can contact us. You can call the show, email our number, text us. All the ways to get through to us. And if you like this dog, let us know, and we're going to make it happen. And we're streaming this thing, and for the next few days, you'll be able to watch the replay of the show on YouTube and on Facebook, etc. So if you didn't catch the show today, and when you're watching this, and it's Monday, hi, it's Monday. Send this video to somebody who needs a dog. You know somebody is. Somebody's been talking about it for a long time, and they're not coming around.
I think Peggy has something to add to that.
I like Peggy, Bernadette.
It doesn't matter. He does share a room with another dog, and they get along fine. And he's very good on the leash for walks.
Okay, that's good to know.
That's important. Yeah,
it is important.
Yeah,
he is. He is.
Especially as a 3-year-old dog, so he's past the crazy puppy phase, but he's got all the good puppy left in him. Yeah. And so he's probably not peeing all over the place.
Oh, he's house trained. He is.
Yeah, so he's probably not chewing things up. This is a mature dog. He's made it through adolescence, and he's ready to go home. Matter of fact, it's probably one of the best age to buy a dog. And I'm sorry for calling you Peggy. I'm getting old, and I'm focusing on the dogs' names because sometimes we have some funny dog names. But thanks for coming in, Bernadette, and we're gonna have another dog next week. On the show, and hopefully,
Rambit. Good luck, boy.
Hopefully, Rambit has found a forever home by then. Bye, Rambit. I love this dog. All right, back to you, recovering car dealer.
Yeah, and Wheelie, we just found out that Wheelie, who was the dog before, hasn't been adopted yet. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Wheelie hasn't.
Wheelie's the one with the stiff legs.
Stiff legs. Yeah, I think that's a problem. He can Wheelie. If you saw the show, his rear legs are stiff, but he can walk fine.
Yeah.
It's just when he sits, he looks funny because he can't bend the legs, and they kind of go out to the side. But he's very healthy. He can walk. He can run.
Yeah, I think that was a show, and I missed because I had my teeth pulled out.
Yeah.
But I saw the video, and that dog was really sweet. So, hey, that's still out there. And by the way, the offer still goes for that. Until they're adopted, we're basically putting our fingerprint, thumbprint on that dog. And so adopt Wheelie, it's not going to cost you anything up front. Later on, you got to take care of the dog.
And we also ask you to consider fostering dogs, not to be confused with adopting. But if you can't adopt a dog, but you could hold a dog, take care of him for 2 or 3 weeks, that would be great. It would relieve the crowding issue we have at Big Dog Ranch Rescue, because we have hundreds of dogs out there and more coming in. We don't turn down dogs. We bring all the dogs in, even the difficult to adopt dogs, because if it takes a year or 2 years or 3 years, we keep on trying until we find homes for dogs. We do not euthanize any dogs. So that's the reason we need your help. Relieve the crowding situation. Consider fostering a dog for 2 or 3 weeks.
And just a reminder, if you want to adopt the Dog of the Week, you can simply go to www.bigdogranchrescue.org. That's BDRR.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe some of the problem is it's so nice out there, and people don't feel bad for the dogs. If you ever visit out there, it's a dog paradise.
Well, if I was a dog, to be honest with you, I would love it out there. It's like a resort. They got a lake.
I prefer it there to an apartment.
They got a maternity, the hospital. They got doctors. They got everything you want.
Salon.
Yeah, salon.
Well, they do groom dogs out there. But here's the way to look at it. It's not that the dogs don't want to leave there. They're getting them ready for you. You're not taking them out of some dirty little cage in some concrete building. Oh. They're relaxed. They're ready to go into a home. They're cleaned up. Come on, adopt a dog. All right.
It's great. That's great, Stu.
Yeah.
That's great to point all that out. I like that salon.
Yeah, exactly.
and it is. It's just amazing out there. It's what can we say? You need to go out and take a look around, and you will definitely be impressed.
Well, for real. I mean, I've taken my kids are out there. We're younger. It's a great place just to spend the day. Take a look at the kids. They got puppies out there.
Yeah, and it's quite an education.
It is
for sure. Okay, we are going to move along here. Let me mention before we get to the mystery shopping report, Earl's latest column and blog, and that's a problem with a car dealer. Who you going to call? And you can just read that at Earl on Cars. Great column.
In a nutshell, the essence of the column is get the cell phone number of the people in responsibility at the dealership before you sign on the dotted line. You have to know who the people are that can make decisions, and you have to insist to get their cell number before you buy the car. After you buy the car, they're not going to tell you their cell number. Before you buy the car, they're going to be nice to you. So just remember that much, or read the blog and get the whole shtick.
Or get their home number. That was one of my pet peeves when I'd answer the phone when we used to have a landline. I just loved asking these guys if I could have their home telephone number. It certainly ended the call quite quick. They hung up on us. We have our mystery shopping report, and it is mystery shop of Schumacher.
Well, we're not sure whether it's Schumacher Chevrolet or we think it's Schumacher Buick, because they looked at a new Buick while they were there.
That's probably true. That one got by me.
So we're going to go to the mystery shop of Schumacher.
Sue was a little sleepy when he wrote to
No, it wasn't. It was, I just, I type what I'm given. So
Agent Lightning, maybe.
He types what he's given.
Okay. Mystery shop of Schumacher Buick.
In my defense, sorry, they're all like in the same spot. It's like all right there.
They all look alike.
Yeah.
I arrived in the evening and walked around inside for about 8 minutes before finally someone to assist me. I made a note when I read the report. It's the seller's market, boys and girls. When you go in to buy a car today, they're not going to be hanging out in front in I used to call them a wolf pack, waiting for you to come in and spring on you, because these the car dealers and the car salespeople, they're selling all the cars they can, and they're making a lot of money. The salespeople are making record commissions. Car dealers are making record profits. So it's going to be interesting. The only good news about that, you're going to pay a lot of money for the car because they're going to charge you all they can get. But the good news is you're not going to be rushed and smothered and pressured as much as you normally would be. So in this case here, Agent Lightning had to wait 8 minutes before finally someone inside the dealership would talk to her. After asking if anyone was available to help me purchase a car that evening, 2 individuals approached me with a smile. One of them asked, "What are you looking for today?" I explained, "Well, I had a Highlander on order for over a year, and I was hoping to find something similar, but sooner. Specifically, I'm interested in a hybrid model." Now, this is a good scenario, and Agent Lightning chose that wisely because this is true. This is what's happening. You hear people call this show. People are waiting months and even over a year to buy a car. So people get tired of waiting, and the power of that new car seizes them, and they say, "I can't wait any longer. I have to have one," and they wander in, and this is where you have to be careful when you wander in, and that's what Agent Lightning did, wandered in to Schumacher Buick. Alonzo, one of the individuals, responded, "Unfortunately, we don't currently have any hybrid vehicles in stock. We have only gas or electric options. Also, none of our brands offer hybrids at the moment." I didn't know that Buick or Chevrolet.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. Maybe Alonso is wrong about that, but nevertheless, that's what he said. Although we do have a stunning H2 Hummer. I never thought of Hummers as being stunning.
The size is
they're
stunning.
big.
Only if they hit you.
They're huge, and they're powerful, but I've never called them stunning. H2 Hummer in the showroom is not available for immediate sale, can only be ordered. Expressing my desire to explore the available options to take home that day, I suggested to Alonzo that we step outside and he could show me the various brands of 7-passenger SUVs. I followed him and ultimately decided on the Buick Enclave. That's when I knew it was a Buick dealership. In a sage metallic color. However, I noticed the car did not have a window sticker. Uh-oh. When I pointed this out, Alonzo seemed unsure why it was missing, but assured me that we could go back inside where we would print a new one for me along with the price. It's amazing how casual dealers are, and I'll have to include us. I mean, the Moroni label is not recognized with the importance that it should be, and oftentimes it's just they take it off when they detail the car and they forget to put it back on, or they shove it in the glove compartment, or it's on the floor. You have to look for it. It's an important document, and it's the law that it be displayed when the car is delivered. And I would say in virtually most cases, that law is not observed. Back at his desk, Alonzo collected my information, printed a window sheet. The MSRP was $53,640. He got up and said that he would return shortly with a price sheet. After waiting about 5 minutes, sales manager approached me and introduced himself. Unfortunately, I didn't get your name. He suggested, before you discuss the price, I think it's important for you to take the vehicle for a test drive. We had a caller very early in the show today talking about the importance of the test drive. And here we actually have the sales manager suggesting the test drive because it's very important to sell the car. You want the customer to smell it, love it, have to have it. Buying cars is a very emotional thing, and the test drive is a key in selling. It's also one of the rare things that both sides should believe in. You as a buyer should not buy a car if you can possibly test drive it. And as I discussed earlier in the show, it's easier said than done now with the car shortage. But if you can, rent a car or find a car somewhere that's the car you're going to be buying and drive it. It's very, very important before you make a decision. Alonzo came back with the keys, led me outside, and instructed me to wait while he brought the car around. As he parked it and I approached the driver's door, he informed me this particular Enclave is a demo model and has 5,400 miles on it. This was the first time I became aware that it was a demo. Now, most of you already know this, but demos aren't necessarily really demos. Demos are cars that have mileage on it, and demo is a shorthand expression. Sometimes they are demonstrated, by that very seriously. If this Buick Enclave, it'll literally been demonstrated up to 5,400 miles. It was probably a salesman's driver, a manager's driver. It might have been a service loaner. For whatever happened, it had miles on it. Alonzo assured me that it still had a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, which is true. They will extend on cars that have the manufacturer's certificate of origin and have not been titled. The manufacturers will extend the warranty to allow for the mileage that's on the car you saw. Went for a brief test drive around North Lake Boulevard. That's North Palm Beach area in Florida. But returning to the dealership, we found the showroom doors were locked. Oh my God. Since they closed at 7 o'clock. Now, that tells you a little bit about how lucrative the car business is. Not only is not a wolf pack trying to hound you and tackle you and put you into a car, but they locked you out of the dealership when you're out on their test drive. That's sure sign that they're not real anxious to sell cars because they sell all they want at a very, very high price. A sales manager promptly came over, unlocked the doors, guided us back to Alonzo's desk. Alonzo excused himself briefly to retrieve a printout for me. When he returned, he handed me the sales worksheet and went over the numbers with me. The market value selling price, in quotes, was $48,000, which amounted to a discount of $5,640. They added a $39 private tag agency fee, $379 in taxable fees, which are not legitimate, and a $995 service, we call it junk fee, dealer fee, whatever you want to call it. Out the door, I was at $52,431. So, while examining the price, I noticed that the worksheet indicated the Enclave had only 2,000 miles. This contradicted the odometer reading, it was 5,400 miles. Carelessness. At that moment, I guess Johan, the used car sales manager, approached us and explained that they had heavily discounted the vehicle due to the 2,000 miles. I pointed out, actually, it has 5,400 miles on it. Would it be possible to negotiate the price further? You know what happens to these cars if you just like a little insider thing? Anything with gas on it and a car dealership is prone to be driven. Salespeople take them home. Anybody takes them home. People are looking for cars with gas in them, and they drive them, and miles get put on them. They call it a demo, but that makes it sound good. Or maybe an executive car, that even sounds better. But it's a car that's been laying around for a while, and probably everybody's been driving the car. Johan asked me to suggest a specific price, to which I replied, a few thousand more. He responded that they might be able to lower it by a few hundred more, but that would be the extent of the adjustment. I thanked him for his honesty and stated that I would need some time to consider it before getting back to him. He handed me the worksheet and asked if I had any additional questions. I said no, and I took my leave. So basically, there you have it. I'm looking at a copy of the standard worksheet, and they do have the non-taxable fees, the private tag agency fee. All these are junk fees. They just have different names for all of them. And the out-the-door price was $52,431.94.
That's a pretty big discount. I was looking for GM discounts on the Enclave. The only thing I saw was a $750 discount.
Is that right? That's all? Surprising.
But I'm also, I'll tell you one thing, it's difficult to find information about GMs. It's not as easy, I'm telling you. First of all, I was trying to find out if there were any GM hybrids. And if you Google it, you'll see all sorts of results like, Malibu hybrid. So then you go to Chevrolet's actual website, GM's website, and there are no hybrids listed. And I could be wrong, but I can say I couldn't find any hybrids for GM, which is weird. And I was also having a hard time finding rebates. They have the Bolt, the Chevy Bolt, which is kind of a hybrid, but it's a plug-in sort of hybrid. Yeah. It's weird, semi-electric vehicle. And I think there's, I saw some stuff about future electric trucks, but I didn't see much about anything else.
Well, if anybody out there owns a GM hybrid, let us know. Text us and let us know. I thought GM had some hybrids.
I thought everybody had hybrids.
Yeah, I thought everybody did, yeah.
Maybe that's why they're not the #1 manufacturer in the world.
Well, we got a vote, so hopefully we have some voters out there. We'll go around and we get the most votes on YouTube. I know we'll get a bunch there. You can text us the votes at 772-497-6530, 772-497-6530. These votes are important because we have to choose the list, the recommended list and the not recommended list. And we have this online at earlandcars.com. So when you want to go shopping for a car, you can check if you live in the area of some of our mystery shopping reports. You can find out people that are on one list or the other. You can also look at the people on the one list, recommended, find out if they have an A, B, C, or a D. If it's an F, we put them on the do not buy list. Positively, do not buy a vehicle from somebody on the do not buy list. We give them an F, and they are really bad.
And we don't have a whole lot of Fs.
Yeah.
We have some, but we don't have a ton.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan Wellington says, this dealership gets an F. The lack of a Monroney sticker is enough to add them to my do not buy from list. Removing that sticker to me is a clear sign of profit manipulation. That's true. Even if it's a demo, they got to put that sticker back on there. Mark says, sounds like an average sale to me. Average sales experience, C+.
Yeah.
I'm closer to Mark's assessment of this. Mistakes were made. It wasn't perfect. But Agent Lightning went in there and got a almost $5,000 discount off of the fees, a $4,000 discount off MSRP, on a brand new car with a little bit of miles. It sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Rick?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, my grade. I'm going to give him a B+. Not B+, sorry, a B.
Okay.
We've got Negan1 says a big D. Ooh. Coming in hard today.
D.
Tom Steckel. The C-. Taxable fees are bogus. They also omitted the legitimate title and tag fees on the worksheet. That's a good note.
I sense there's distance between us and our audience.
Johnny Z. Fradley, C. Fair price, some dealer fees, but at least no add-ons. Tim Gilliland, C. Brian Sidlatko, it's a C for me. And for myself, I'm actually going to go a little lighter. I'm going to say a B because I don't see anybody playing games here. They immediately put a discount for the mileage on it. They even offered a few hundred more discounted because of the discrepancy on the mileage. And I think it seemed like a pretty reasonable deal on that particular car.
That's what I expect to see, like on a car with that many miles on it, on a new demo. It seemed like a reasonable, even in normal times, it seemed like what you would you see for a car with miles on it. They want to move it. They'll get a credit for the sale, and they'll make some money on holdback, and hopefully make some money in finance. That's what they're thinking. So,
yeah.
Well, I say there was a few inaccuracies, and the dealer fee was pretty high. No Maroni sticker? Come on. And what about 5,400 miles versus 2,000? So for that, I give them a C minus.
Right.
I'm going to go with a C. Schumacher most of their stores are pretty decent. Most of his stores are recommended. I don't think Schumacher, he's probably got, a dozen stores in this area?
Something like that, yeah.
And I think they're all on the recommended list. So we know the dealer personally. He's a good guy. And he's got too many stores, so he can't stay on top of them all. But that's true for all dealers that have multiple stores. But it's a legitimate place. They've got a lot of franchises. His father was the original Buick dealer in the area, and this is second generation, and he's really expanded considerably. So I'll go with a C.
There we go. Yeah, they always do pretty well. I don't think we've ever flunked them. All right, so it's
Okay.
official. That's a C.
Good dealer, bad dealer list. Check it out. Jonathan, how much time do we have left? Okay, Earl, take it away.
Well, the only thing I have to add is the fact that our Tesla has got another software update, and just really quickly, I was going to Elon Musk. I guess because of the heat he's got on his autonomous full self-driving, he's done a disclosure now. This came up on the last software update. Full self-driving is not in early limited access beta and must be used with additional caution. It may do the wrong thing at the worst time. I love that phrase. Now he tells me.
He wrote that personally. He does a lot of things personally at this country,
right.
at this company.
It may do the wrong thing at the worst time, so you must always keep your hands on the wheel and pay attention to the road. Do not become complacent. When self-driving is enabled, your vehicle will make lane changes off highway, select forks to follow your navigation route, navigate around other vehicles and objects, and make left and right turns. And I go back to, it may do the wrong thing at the worst time. So I don't think he's going to be running that in full-page ads, but that is in the software
I will tell you one thing,
disclosure.
though. That's my kind of disclosure.
And it wasn't in the earlier software disclosures.
Right.
It's only come out recently.
You'd remember that.
Yes.
And I'm saying that's a good disclosure. It's a plain language disclosure. It doesn't list them death, injury, disfiguration, emotional trauma, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, listen, it's the worst thing can happen at the wrong time. So, pay attention.
Nancy and I were making a left-hand turn going to Stuart, Florida, and our car was behind us. It stopped the car suddenly with the car gaining on us rapidly. That was doing the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I warned you about that, though.
Next time I'll call you when we get on the road.
I did. I remember warning you.
So
I
you
said
can remind us twice.
I said it's a little hinky. Be careful of the autopilot.
Well, you kind of have to bear in mind, though, this is an emerging technology in its infancy.
Yes, and if some people got to die, some people got to die.
It's going to take some time.
Be aware, be focused.
Yeah, you have to be aware. You have to pay attention. You can't just totally trust it immediately. It's a baby. You've got to give it a chance to grow.
I'm going to jump on that. Speaking of babies, I can't close the show without wishing Jackson. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday,
and
Jack.
he is 3 years old. That is our great grandson.
Happy birthday, Jackson.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Jackson.
Happy birthday.
And he listens to the show from time to time, and he carries around Earl's book.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's just amazing.
He says, Pop Pop. He calls me Pop Pop.
Yeah, he doesn't know my name. I'm just saying. Okay, folks, you are a big part of the show. We definitely enjoy your company. Tuning in every Saturday morning. We thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll be right back here next Saturday, same time, 8 a.m. Have a great weekend.